To understand the fast of Shiva Asar B'Tamuz, the 17th of Tamuz, we spoke earlier with Rabbi Chaim Richman from the Temple Institute.
Shalom Yoni.
Shalom Rabbi Richman. So what is the meaning of the fast of Shiva Asar B'Tamuz?
Well, there are certain days of the year in which the entire congregation of Israel fasts. This is referred to in the 8th chapter of the book of Zechariah as the fourth fast, because it's the fourth month of the year, counting from the month of Nisan. And actually, our sages tell us in tractate Ta'anit that 5 specific tragedies befell the Jewish people on this day.
What are these events?
The first event took place actually in 1313 BCE, and that was 40 days after the giving of the Torah, the Sinai revelation. Moses descended from Mount Sinai and witnessed Israel's worshipping of the golden calf and broke the tablets, smashed the tablets containing the 10 Commandments, which he was carrying down from the mountain. This was the first event. So there is something inexorably bound up with the 17th of Tammuz, rooted in that very day in history, the concept of the golden calf and the reaction of the breaking of the tablets. 4 other tragedies occurred for our people on the 17th of Tammuz. We have a tradition in the time of the Holy Temple, actually in the time of the first temple in the year 423 BCE, that the daily offerings, the Korban Tamid, daily offerings were discontinued, suspended, about 3 weeks before the Babylonian destruction of the first temple. And the other 3 national tragedies concerning the 17th of Tammuz were connected to the Roman conquest of Jerusalem and the destruction of the second temple. And those were, first of all, that the walls of the city of Jerusalem were originally breached on the 17th of Tammuz. In other words, the besieged city, the walls were breached on the 17th of Tammuz. There's also a tradition that a certain Roman general named Aposthumus burned the Torah scroll on this day and also placed an idol in the Holy Temple. So I think more importantly, this day is the beginning of a specific period of time referred to by our sages as Ben HaMitzarim, which literally means between the straits, and begins the national mourning period, wherein the entire house of Israel become like mourners for, God forbid, a close family relative during this period of time, beginning with the 17th of Tammuz, and of course the climax, the crescendo of this period in 3 weeks' time, the 9th of Av, the day of the destruction of both holy temples.
Now, in addition to remembering the past, today on Shiva Asar B'Tamuz, what do you think we should learn and work on today in our time, in our generation?
Well, you know, the whole idea of Jewish mourning is supposed to be a cathartic experience. The Jewish tears are not just about something that happened long ago. When we mourn, our tears are tears of resolve, looking towards the future. And the unique thing about this period of time on the Hebrew calendar, especially when we look at the progression of the levels of mourning, starting today and then continuing to the Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the month of Av, and those 9 days and the week in which the 9th of Av falls out, these are progressive levels of growing intensity of mourning, so that when Tisha B'Av arrives, the day of the 9th of Av itself, we are actually, each one of us, like mourners for a close relative. This is the way that we're supposed to feel about the loss of the Holy Temple, that we simply can't go on, that there's something missing from our lives. But the thing is, you know, we reflect upon the famous statement of our sages that every generation which did not merit to see the rebuilding of the Holy Temple is considered like the generation in which it was destroyed. In other words, that guilt, really, our sages are giving us, that if we would have been worthy to rebuild it, then we would have rebuilt it. The idea is, you know, we can't be fixated just on this guilt and this obsession of what once was, of the fact that, oh, woe is me, we don't have the Holy Temple, and begging God to rebuild the temple. What it's really supposed to be about is supposed to be focusing tremendous introspection on the fact that our lives we're like fish without water. The significance of being a Jew without the Holy Temple is it's like we're living like on a skeletal level. And everybody knows that during this period we have some very intense mourning procedures, and we have some customs that are really designed to help us focus on the fact that we're supposed to be thinking more about the Holy Temple. But the problem is that we've become kind of set in this rote of perpetualizing and almost romanticizing the mourning, so that the mourning becomes like a means, like an end to itself. And that's not what it's supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be about remembering the destruction. It's supposed to be about making sure that ours is the last generation that we have to go through this, that we no longer mourn the destruction, because we're supposed to be, it's like today we're fasting, right? So what's the idea of a fast? It's not just about suffering or about thinking about when we're going to be eating and what time can we break the fast. The idea of fasting, according to our sages of blessed memory, it's supposed to make us very keen. It's supposed to alert us. It's supposed to bring out the best of our senses and help us to focus and realize that we're nothing in this world without God, that we have to search our ways, that we have to see why are we in this situation. And all of this, I think, Yoni, has more significance than ever in our generation as we see the bereft, spiritually bankrupt stature of our leadership. We see the tremendous infamy, we see the disgrace that's brought upon the Jewish people in the land of Israel. We see that more and more of our people are connecting with their spiritual roots and realizing that the secret of the elusive peace that we're seeking, and the secret of our identity in this land and our sovereignty over this land, is none other than the resting of the divine presence and the marching forward of the people of Israel in our time towards our destiny. And the Holy Temple is a key part of that entire equation. So this whole process of the 3 weeks that begins today, if we're not careful, we can fall into this complacency, just be so smug and self-satisfied that we're mourning. Oh, we're doing God a big favor. But it's not about perpetuating the mourning. It's about having the resolve and the focus and making it so real and bringing it home to such a great extent through our mourning and through our following, these important customs of our Torah, to realize this can't go on. We don't want to be mourning forever. This can't go on. And the more seriously we take our mourning, as our sages say, all who mourn for Jerusalem will merit to rejoice with her.
Rabbi Chaim Richman of the Temple Institute, thank you very much for joining us.
Shalom.